Tav Samach Zayin Amid Aleph will begin Samach Vav Amid Beis right at the bottom. Amar Rav Huna. So continuing on with the refuahs that we had and the different lachash that they used to do and the different procedures for refuahs. So he said Leishta Tilsa. He said for a fever that comes every 3 days. What is the remedy? Laisa Shiva Silva Mishiva Dikli. Bring 7 branches from 7 palm trees, from date trees. Veshiva tziva mishiva kshuri, 7 splinters from 7 wood beams. Veshiva siki mishiva kshuri, and 7 pegs from 7 bridges. Veshiva ketimi mishiva tanuri, and 7 ashes from 7 ovens. Veshiva afa mishiva sinri, and 7 pieces of dirt from 7 door sockets. Veshiva kufa mishiva arbe, and 7 different types of the pitch that were used to line the ships, the hulls of the ships. Veshiva bune kamuni, and 7 kernels of cumin. Veshiva bine midikne de kalbasava, and 7 hairs from a bearded dog. V'slorina b'chalal de beit savara b'nir bark. And you should tie it together at the opening of a person's shirt and tie it with a strand of hair. So this is used as a remedy for that type of a fever. Amar Rav Yaich, Leishtat Smirta, for a burning fever. So you say the following psukim, and this will be a remedy for this type of fever. Lishkol sakina dekila varzla, take a knife that is made completely out of iron, v'leizol lehecha deika vardina, and go where there is a sneh, a thorn bush, v'liktebe nira berka, and tie upon it a strand of hair. Yemekama lechem puerta v'leim. The first day you do a small cut, and you say the following pasuk. So these are the psukim that, in reference when Moshe Rabbeinu came to the sneh, and it was burning and it was not consumed. So similarly, we recite these psukim about the burning, and that the burning should not consume the person, and that the fever should go away. So you say the first day, Vayarach Mal Hashem, Malach Hashem Elo, and that Hashem appeared to Moshe Rabbeinu. Next day you make another cut in the bush and say V'leima v'yamar Moshe asurina ve'er, and the writer say the pasuk that Moshe Rabbeinu said, "Let me turn and see this." The next day you make another cut in the sneh and you say the pasuk Vayar Hashem kisar liris. Hashem saw that he turned to see. Why don't you say a more appropriate pasuk, the end of that, that Hashem says, don't come closer, meaning it's more appropriate that the fire, the burning, the fever should not come. Rather, the first day you should say, and the next day, and when the fever stops, let's you bend down low and say the following: Hasneh, the thorn bush. La mishum degvias mikoli lana shekodesh baruch hu shchinta alach. Rabbi Shalom was not shoyer shchina on him, not because you're the tallest and the highest. Ela mishum demaichas mikoli lana, because you're the lowest. Because you were the lowest, that's why the Kodesh Baruch Hu rested His Shechin on you. And just like Hanan and Mishal Zara, they were thrown into the fire, and the fire, it did not burn them, and it ran away from them. So too, the fire should not burn the fever, should not burn this person, the son of so-and-so, and it should run away from here. L'simta, so no other types of refuahs. For simta, for boils, leimahach, you should say the following: Ben Bazia Mas Malsha. So you say these are the name of Malachim, and Rashi explains that the name is on the shame of what they do. It tears the illness, that's Bazia. Masya, it heals the illness. Arkasya, it grinds it down. So Ben Bazia Mas, Masya, Kaskase, Sharloi, Armaloi, and he says these are the names of Malachim. Ilan Malacha Deshtalch Me'ar Destaim La'asa, Shechina Ki Even. These are the Malachim that are sent from Staim to heal these painful boils. Rashi says they're not really from Staim sent, but that's the Lachash. That's what you say. Baz Bazeh Baz Bayach, Mas Mayach Hamun Kamech. And this is the Lachash. These are the words you say. Anayach Bey, Anayach Bey. May the color remain and not get redder. Isrich Boch, your place, Isrich Boch, that's where you are. Don't go any further, don't spread. Zarach Kol Kaparda Loi Para V'Loi Ravia. Your zera should be like a locked up person, like a mule that does not, meaning like a person, like a mule that cannot bear children. Plinius should not spread on the body of so and so. That this fire should not multiply, this fever should not spread. Lekipa for blisters, lemahachi, cherev shlufa, v'kelen atusha. You have a sword and a slingshot that's ready to attack. Lo yishmei yoichav chulin machayvim. Your name is not, its name is not yoichav, the machayvim, choil machayvim, painful ke'evim. L'shida lemahachi, for a shade, in order to remove a shade, to chase away a shade, you say the following. Haves the pakik the pagaves. You're stopped up, and stopped up you were. Lita tavro mishumat batit batami batina be kishamgaz marigaz istamoy. That's what you were called. You're cursed, you're broken, you're in cherem, and you're called. These are the names that you're called. Lishida the basic kisei, for the shade that frequents the basic kisei, to banish him, say the following: Lemahachi akar kalfe the ari, upon the head of a lion, va'use the geraisa, in the nostrils of a female lion, ashkach lishida bar shriko, upon that's where you'll find the shade bar shrika panda. B'misha the kate chapte, on a field of leeks, that's where I cut him down. Blu the chamra chatate, and I hit him with a jaw of a donkey. Coming back now to the Mishnah. So the Mishnah said, B'nei Malachim B'zagin, the B'nei Malachim, the princes can go out with bells that are stopped up, so it's not mashmiya kol. It doesn't make a sound, so you don't have the problem mashmiya kol. And they can go out with it because this is considered a malbish for them. This is considered the regular attire, and therefore it's not considered carrying. And the B'nei Malachim can go out with with these type of bells. Amar Yoshi Reb Shimon he Damar Kol Bnei Yisrael Kol Yisrael Bnei Malachim. Now this sheet in the Mishnah says that not only Bnei Malachim, it's Kol Adam Elisha Dibro Chacham B'Haive. The Chacham just used the common occurrence, but really anybody can go with these bells. So why can everybody go out with them? Why can even poor people go with the bells? This is not commonplace for them. Why aren't we concerned that people might make fun of them, they might take it off, and therefore come to carry it like we are in other cases? So Rav Aishia says this Mishnah must be going according to the sheet of Rabbi Shimon, who says that Kol Yisrael B'nei Malachim, everybody, all Yidden are considered like princes. It's all appropriate anytime for anybody. It's appropriate for any Yid to go out like royalty, because all Yidden are royalty, so therefore it's not unusual, it's not uncommon, people won't make fun of them, and we're not concerned that they're going to go and carry it. Rava Amar Be'arei B'Ksusoi B'Divra Kol. Rava says, no, we're going not Daf according to Rav Shimon, and the reason that it's mutter over here, it's that it's sewn into the garment. So therefore we're not concerned that it'll take it off. Really, it's not. We don't have to say it's going according to Rav Shimon. And it could be that it's a niyim and they're not b'nei malachim, and it is uncommon for them to go out with it. Why are we not afraid that they'll take it off and show it to, take it off rather, and because people will make fun of them? Because it's sewn into the garment, they won't be able to take it off. Taisus asked the kasha, well, we were concerned by the chaysim of the eved that maybe it'll break and it'll come to carry it. Why aren't we concerned over here that it'll come to break? So Taisa says, by the case of the chaysam, by the eved, it's only with a string. It's more likely that it'll break. Over here, these bells were done with chains, so we're not concerned that it's going to break. Now, why aren't we concerned that over here, why aren't we concerned that they'll take it off and show it to a friend? Now, by tachshitim, we are concerned that by tachshitim of an isha, that it'll take it off and show it to a friend. Now, Taisa Shita, Lishita also that this gzera is not by men, it's not a problem. But according to a Rashi Shita, that the concern that it might show it to a friend and come to carry it applies to a man as well. Why aren't we concerned in these cases that the person will take it off to show it to a friend? So could be the pshat is, could be possibly the pshat is that jewelry, ornaments, there's all kinds of different types of ornaments. So if there are different types of ornaments, then one woman or one person might show it to a friend. But if it's standard, there's nothing to show to a friend. So perhaps the pshat is that these bells were worn by malachim, according to Rav Shimon, by anybody, but whatever they were standard. So there's nothing to show to a friend because it's a standard item. Now, there would be a concern if the people would make fun of them, they might take it off and carry it and try to hide it. That would be a concern. If they're all b'nei malachim, there's no concern. And if everyone, all Yisrael b'nei malachim, is not concerned, and if it's sewn, we're also not concerned. Obviously, we're not concerned in that case. However, it comes out that a nafkamina is, if you say it's like Rav Shimon, then it's mutter to go out with it even if it's not sewn. If it's according to Chachamim, it would be mutter only if it's sewn in the garment. Zok the Mishnah, one can go out with Shabbos with a locust egg, with a egg from a locust, ub'shein shul, and the tooth of a fox, ub'maser minat Sullivan, a nail from somebody who was hung, so they hung him on the sticks, on posts, on the gallows, and if one took a nail from that, one could go out carrying that nail, mishum refuah, because in all these cases it's considered to be a refuah. So one can go out with these items of refuah, divra mer. Chamnoim afachol, and the chol is also mishum darkei ha'amori, because these things are considered darkei ha'amori. They're considered things that are done by the goyim, by the amorim, and they're not considered to be a refuah, and therefore it's also, and it's also to use it. He says even b'chol, not only on Shabbos you can't go out with it because it's considered carrying, but even the weekday it's also because it's following the ways of a Gemara. These are not legitimate refuahs, and you cannot use these types of refuahs. The Gemara will have a discussion on this item, on this matter, what is considered a refuah, what is mutter or what is not mutter. Now we just had previously in the Gemara, by the case of the fever, that the person who had the fever and he cut the sneh, and he said the psukim from the sneh, and there it was mutter. Now, obviously, over there he's saying psukim, and it's no problem with darkei mori, but over there is an isser, and the Rishonim are bothered with this. There's an isser to use say psukim, and for a refuah. Now, how is it mutter over there to say it by the sneh? So, these are the issues that are allotted to a great discussion amongst the Rishonim for refuah. What is mutter for refuah? What is mutter to say with a refuah? We have all these kinds of lachash. So we discussed before in the Gemara lachash, the incantations that are said. We said psukim that are said. When is a lachash mutter and when is a pasuk mutter? The Marshal says that psukim are also to use psukim for refuah if it's for a physical ailment. But if it's something that it's an ailment, that's something that's to do with the nefesh, it's not purely physical, then the psukim would be mutter. Otherwise, psukim would be aser. Of course, if it's pikuch nefesh, then psukim are mutter. And other Rishonim say that if it's the Iker is not the pasuk, if it's not being the Iker refuah, then you're allowed to say psukim as well. As far as the lachash is concerned, and these types of customs are doing these types of items like the beyaz hachargal and the shein shul. So this is the machlokes in the Mishnah, and we'll see what the gedarim are. The Gemara will discuss some of the gedarim. So the Gemara Yaitzim bebeyas hachargal. What is the locust egg? What ailment is that for? That's the avle l'sheichel. That's if a person has an earache, so then he hangs it from his ear. Ubishen shel shul, and the tooth of the fox, the avle shinsa, if a person has a sleeping disorder. The chayev's the tooth from a live fox, that's used, laman denoi, the one who's always sleepy, and therefore he uses it to keep him awake, to make him alert. The misa laman deloi noim, and the tooth of a dead fox from the person who can't sleep, and that will allow him to sleep. And the nail from the gallows, the avle lezirpo, and that's a refuah for one who has swelling. If he has a mark, if he has a wound, and he has swelling, it's a refuah for that. So the Tanakama, Ramer said that it's muter mishum refuah. Ramer said these things are muter mishum refuah, but the Chum say that even the whole it's also mishum darkei mori, mishum refuah di Ramer. Abai v'Rav Damet Havaya called davar sheish mishum refuah ein boy mishum darkei mori. What is the getter of what is something is darkei mori, and the ways of the morim which is also, or something which is used for refuah? So obviously, we take medicine, there's medical procedures, we don't say it's darkei mori. So they said if something is proven that it shows that it's proven to heal, then it's independent, objectively, it's refuah. It's not darkei mori. But something that it's not been demonstrated that it heals, then that is a problem that's also mishum darkei mori. You mean to say that something that is not demonstrated that it heals, there is an isser of darkei mori? We learned in the Baraisa, if you have a tree that the fruit falls off prematurely, so it doesn't stay in the tree until the point where it gets fully ripe. So it's always falling down early, and therefore the fruit is inferior. What do? You dye it with a red dye, and then you put on the branches rocks, and you have rocks on it, and that will now, the tree will, therefore, it will not have this problem. The tree will then grow, the fruit will grow properly. So that you say that you put the rocks on it, we can understand that rationally, and we can understand how it works. It's not darkei mori, so that its strength will be weakened. The sap, it has the burden of the stones. So the reason, meaning presumably the reason that the fruit falls off prematurely, is that there's too much sap and it has too much strength in the tree, and therefore it causes the sap to now reach into the branches, and it causes the fruit to then fall off too quickly. And if you weaken the tree, then it will cure that problem. Ella Seiker Basid, my refuah called it, but what kind? By putting red dye on it, there's no therapeutic benefit to that. So why should that be mutter? Why isn't that darkei mori? My answer is there is something clear benefit of that. We understand an understandable benefit to that, because people will see it, they'll understand that this tree now has this ailment, and they'll do Dovid. And it's just a trigger. It's not the dye itself that cures the tree. It's the dye that causes people to daven, and that will cure the tree. Kirasanya, the Tommy Yikra, the by the Mitzayra, he has to proclaim, he has to call out that he's Tommy Yikra. Why does he do it? He has to inform, he has to proclaim that he's Tommy to inform the public, so they'll be Mevakish Rachamim, and here also it's for the same reason. According to who do we hang on a palm tree, on a date tree, a bunch of dates? So we do it according to this Tana. So according to this Tana, because the purpose is you hang it from the tree, and people will realize that it's now shedding its dates prematurely, and they'll daven for it. Whereas the Tana who taught the certain halachas from a brisa that deals with the darkei mori, And Omar lay and Rav Chia said, Kula ismim shum darkei mori lebar mahali. All of these different practices that are mentioned, they're all also mishum darkei mori, except for these, the ones that we're going to list now. So the first one is Misheshul Etzem Begroina, one who has a bone stuck in his throat. Maybe Me'oisomin, he brings a bone from that, the same type of bone from that animal that had the bone. Maniach le al karkara, he puts it on his head. Vele mahachi chad chad nochis bola, one by one go down to be swallowed. Bola nochis chad chad, swallow it and go down one by one. Ein boy mishum darkei mori. And this is proven to be effective, and there's therefore no isser of darkei mori. Le'idra, for a fish bone, le'mahachi, so if the fish bone is stuck in his throat, you say the following. Ninatsta kimachad, you came stuck like a needle. Ninalta kitris, you're closed tight like a shutter. Shaya, go down, go down. So this also is no isser of darkei mori, it's proven to be effective.